Good morning, Willowbrook. My name is Tanya Adams, and I'm the WB Kids Assistant here at the Madison campus. Thank you so much for joining us for your daily devos. And today we are continuing on in the book of Acts, where we meet a lady named Lydia. Now, a lot is not really said about Lydia in the scriptures, but here's some things that we do know. We do know that she worked outside of the home. She sold this purple cloth, and from what I read, only rich folks or royalty could afford purple clothing, so maybe it's safe to assume that Lydia made a pretty good living selling this cloth. And another thing that we know is that she heard Paul's message. She met Paul, she heard his message, she received his message, and her family were baptized. And then later on, she goes on and she offers her home to Paul and his friends. So they don't really have to worry about trying to find money to find a place to stay. They can just focus on ministry and spreading the gospel since she opened her home up to them. So as I was reading this, there was a couple of things that stood out a little bit to me. Her having this job as a seller of cloth, kind of like a merchant really, reminded me that, you know, not all believers are called into the ministry, but all believers are called to minister. We're all called to minister to people wherever God has us planted at the moment and to share his love with them. Whether that is a factory job, a server, a teacher, an engineer, a seller of cloth, we are all called to minister to others wherever we're planted. And another thing that stood out to me is that God provided for Paul through Lydia. And God does the same thing with us if we'll allow it. Like, that's his plan, to use us to meet other people's needs. And so I have been on both sides over the fence on that one. I remember when I was about 6 years old, our family was chosen by a charity to provide Christmas for us. And I remember it like it was yesterday, and I will never forget it. I remember the box, the red wrapping paper that had all these toys in it, and then there was a box that had food. And I remember every single toy I got that year. I got a sit and spin, a Good Luck Care Bear, a Fisher-Price record player, and a Michael Jackson magic microphone. Never forget it. And I remember being that little and it making a humongous impact on me, that these people didn't know us, but they chose to give and meet our needs. And it made a big difference. And thankfully, God has allowed my family to do that sort of thing for other people now. So it's just a blessing to be able to see that from both sides. And God doesn't just bless us to bless us. He blesses us to bless other people. And so the questions that I would ask myself today as reading this scripture and just trying to apply it to my life, number one would be, am I ministering to others wherever God has me planted right now? And number two, am I willing and eager to be a vessel, a conduit of God's blessings out to other people? Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.